And we're back with the second half of the first week of February 2012 with our monster comic reviews. And we're going to start out with Batman Detective Comic. What'd you think, Ethan?
Why does the Penguin look like Joker?
On the cover?
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely does,
because he does. It looks like somebody, like, it's from a bad cartoon, and somebody hit the Joker, like Looney Tunes, and somebody hit the Joker over the head with a large hammer, and he shrunk and got squashed down, and then he looks like the Penguin.
Well, I don't even think he looks that squashed down.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks too skinny. I mean, Cobblepot needs to be this kind of more waddly,
he's
rounder looking. Not necessarily fat, but he definitely needs to be rounder looking. And yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he's too tall in this.
Yeah. What about the book itself?
I liked it. I like the people in it. I like Batman. He's fun, but he's Batman, so of course he is. I like the story, and I like the Penguin. He's pretty awesome. Although I found it kind of funny that, I mean, I think even if Batman's going to be like, oh no, I'm going to freak out about this lady that I'm dating, he'd freak out about that lady that he's dating, and he'd still maintain his Batman-ness.
Well,
but, I mean, he freaked out and he ran right into the trap, which I don't see something as Batman would do.
Well, Batman gets caught by traps. You got to remember this.
Yeah.
And you got to remember this is a younger Batman. We got to back up a little bit because he's the uber Batman that he was there at the end of the Grant Morrison run. New readers would would not have anything to really read to see any growth or anything.
Yeah.
You know, but I can definitely see your point. Some of the things I liked about this book, the Penguin. I love the fact that he's basically convinced all these other strange villains to pay him to tutor them in how to be their own mastermind criminals.
Yeah.
Because otherwise they're going to get killed off or whatever. You know, when you know darn good and well that unless maybe they've changed the character, but you know darn good and well he wants to be in control of the whole city. He's certainly not going to let these guys, once they, you know, learn from him and go out from underneath his wing to keep the whole bird analogy going. He's going to let them continue to control, you know, let them have a piece of Gotham. Hell no. You know, unless they've changed the character, like I said, because I mean in the past, you know, him and Two-Face used to always go at it as to who was trying to control most of the underworld of Gotham. So yeah, but I thought that part was pretty fun. The villains that are in this book that are committing the crime against, you know, the Penguin's place and whatnot. Excuse you.
Thank you.
They're interesting. I'm curious to see exactly how that all plays out with the sister because, of course, you know, Batman's girlfriend, well, Bruce Wayne's girlfriend is sisters with one of the criminals. Who seems to be the brains behind the guy that's doing the dirty work.
That's an awesome power, though. I like him. I like snake skin.
Snake skin, right?
Yeah.
He sheds a skin and puts on the other, and yeah. So that's, you know, that's that'll be interesting to see how that all plays out. I mean, how at the end of it, obviously he's getting like buried in snow or ice or whatever. You know, how's he gonna survive that?
Yeah.
You know, the question is, I mean, does the other sister decide to save him because she doesn't really want her sister dead, or?
I don't know, they didn't seem to be on the friendliest terms.
Or maybe he has his bat thermal underwear on and he won't actually be frozen.
Sure.
It's not the 1960s, huh?
No.
Not the 1960s TV show?
No.
At any rate, you know, or as your mom asked, is it going to be Deus Alfred as opposed to Deus Machina that saves the day? You know, are you familiar with Deus Machina?
No.
It's God in the Machine. It's story design that's been around for a long time. Shakespeare used it quite a bit. You know, and that's Latin. You know, for the fact that you know what changes the plot or saves everyone at the end is some power of God or gods.
Ah.
So
yeah,
in this case, it'll be Alfred that saves them because you know Alfred's down there on the boat, whatever. Yeah, this comic's okay. It's probably my least favorite of the Batman titles that I pick up. Thankfully, I don't pick up Batman Dark Knight because I hear nothing good about it ever. But you know, it's fine. I continue with it because you know it's the well, one time it was the flagship, one of the flagships. You know, Detective Comics. Yeah. Yeah. It's got its good points and it's got its bad points. Anyway, next.
We've got Green Arrow, number 6.
Speaking of bad points, there is, I don't think, very little about this issue in particular that was good.
There's stuff about this issue that was good?
No, I said I don't think there are any. Well,
yeah.
It's got Green Arrow in it.
Oh, okay.
So for me, that makes it somewhat good because I like Green Arrow.
Yeah, I guess.
You know what would make this comic good? Chin hair. That's right. This comic would be like 10 times better if he had his beard back. Just saying. You know. Yeah, this was
It was
lame.
bad.
It was just lame. It was just lame.
It wasn't good.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, there are things about the relaunch of Green Arrow I like. I like the fact his trick arrows are back. I like his new bow. I like his new bow. The fact that it curls up and then folds out. That's cool. I like the fact that he's got kind of a team that helps him with information, and he's got an actual tech person that makes the arrows. Because you always kind of wonder where the hell does he get all these arrows from before in the past? I mean, who made those?
Yeah.
Who made those things? So that part's all interesting and whatnot. These villains, I guess, could have been interesting. This book just feels like people are trying to keep the pieces together until they can get the next team in there, which is really what it is. I mean, the people who were originally doing this are off the book. Jurgens and Giffens are just kind of filling in because they seem to be, they're at least marginally capable of faking a comic book for a month, and that's kind of what this just felt like. It just felt like it was kind of slapped together and cranked out and whatnot. Very, very, very disappointing book. I'm stoked. I'm pretty sure next issue, issue 7, starts Anicetti, and I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank on the new artist's name. That'll be the new team. I can't wait for that to get up and running. I hope they bring back Ollie's beard. Of course, the covers I've seen don't show him with a beard, so hasn't happened yet, but maybe we can get it back. I'm excited for her Anicetti to be writing this, like I've said, I'm sure in the past, because my experience with her as a kid was always great. So I'm really looking forward to that, and hopefully I haven't set my expectations so high that
it's not good.
That it's not good. But if we're going to have to hold it up against this book in particular, issue number 6, she should have nothing to fear because it's that. You can't go down a lot from here.
I don't think so. Not by much.
Well, he was still a character. I mean, so they could have gone down by making him, I don't know.
He could go down. You know how he could go down? He could join Justice League International.
Yeah, I guess. But he's, supposedly he's going to be joining Justice League pretty soon.
That'll be cool.
Or attempting to. He's mad because they aren't letting him in or something like that. It sounds to me what the storyline is. Anyway.
As for your beard, you have to remember that they're young. It's young Green Arrow. So, I mean, they have to show growth.
Oh, so it's just like gorilla beard? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So only us old people have beards. Okay.
Yeah.
Great. At any rate, what's next?
The Punisher, issue 8?
Yep.
Right? Okay. Yeah, issue 8. What do you think?
Awesome comic.
Yeah.
I'll go on and on about this. This comic is so great. It's the creative team that makes this book so great. Because I'm not a real big Punisher fan. I mean, I don't care one way or the other about Punisher. But boy, I'm a Punisher fan for reading this. At some point, this may actually make me go and pick something else that's a Punisher thing up just to see what it's like too. The way this book is delivered, the story is almost completely told around the Punisher as opposed to the Punisher story itself.
That's what's awesome.
Yeah, that's one of the things that makes it great. It's really interesting seeing how all these characters are kind of coming together. Mm-hmm. The detectives, how their play is in the whole thing. The only surviving person of the massacre that was in the first issue, she's seeking revenge. So hell, she's basically the female version of the Punisher, really, in a sense. The two of them butt heads together. They spew some jargon, which I'm pretty sure is probably Marine thing, the blue on blue. I think they both recognize each other as that, which is cool in its own right. The whole Marine loyalty thing and stuff. I'm all for that. And then of course while they're walking away from each other, the Punisher says, keep the hell out of my way, basically. Yeah. So that'll be interesting. And then the whole setup at the end of this, issue where they think they're tricking the castle, tricking Punisher into this trap. When lo and behold, reality, who'd they get in there? They got her stuck in the trap, getting the crap shot out of her by those Armatron drone things. And the very last panel, you can see the Punisher in the background behind the guy who's at the base running everything. So he's going to have a bad day very soon. I'd be curious to see if he gets there in time to save her from getting
Yeah, I like the contrast in this between the two people. I
Right.
like the white Punisher and then her black stealth suit kind of thing. That was cool.
Yeah, because he's all dressed for winter outside, and of course
Mhm.
she's got her old ninja costume on, basically.
Yeah.
You know, the fact is that and the detectives are like, geez, looks like he's got a partner, which of course is totally unheard of.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't have partners, he doesn't team up with people and whatnot. But man, this, like I said, the book is just rich. It's got so much ambiance. It's got such a feel to it. You open it up, and it has a gritty feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
Between the artwork, you know, the few words that are in it, it's a masterpiece of a book.
It is.
And it's a Marvel book, which, like I said, I don't collect a lot of Marvel books. This Marvel book happens to be $2.99.
And adless. Well,
it?
not adless, but it doesn't have any of the.
Oh, it doesn't have the annoying things at the bottom like
Yeah.
the Defender does. Yes.
Yeah.
That's just the Defender comic, as best of my knowledge.
Really?
I mean, well, at least as far as it's
That's
already.
annoying.
But the other thing is you know, don't tell Marvel this, but I'd pay $3.99 for it as opposed to $2.99.
Mhm.
It's worth it.
Yes.
It's worth it as opposed to, like I said, when we talked about the Defenders in the last episode, I wasn't sure, you know, that extra dollar, is it giving me what I want for that extra dollar? Whereas
Yeah.
this would definitely be giving me what I want for that extra dollar.
Definitely.
So, really excited about that book. Anyway, next up is Stormwatch number 6. What you think?
Oh, I like this book. I like this book a lot. I like the people in it. I like the fact that it has Martian Manhunter, because I've always liked Martian Manhunter, and it seems like the last thing that I really read Martian Manhunter's being something in was way back in Batman and the Outsiders, because Martian Manhunter
Was helping
on
Batman
that
out.
for a little while. Because right after that, I mean, he pretty much just showed up to get killed in Final Crisis.
Yep.
But back to this book. I like this book. I like the city. I love the fact that the spaceship, that hyperspace, actually counts as a city.
It is on deity and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
On
it's a city.
Avatar.
And I love the fact that I love the city itself, and
Mhm.
I love the fact that everybody talks to it through the ship.
Uh-huh.
And I love the fact that it's still determined to continue on with its
Yeah.
mission.
Yeah, the fact that the ship is a demonite, which I think ties into books we don't read. It ties into Grifter. I think that
Yeah.
the aliens that he's fighting, the first issue we read of the Grifter,
Mhm.
the aliens he's fighting, that's what they are. And so this is like a mothership or whatever from
Mhm.
that invasion or whatnot.
Yeah.
But the avatar from that is hilarious because now he's got free will. He can't actually work against them, but he's at least has a voice now. So from now on, we're going to have this obnoxious,
Yeah.
always have to try and kill you,
Yeah.
or this is what's happening, scum of the earth or
Fools,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's just going to insult them the whole time. So that's going to be, and that'll be a fun thing to for them to play around with and whatnot. What I'm happy most about this issue is the fact is by the end of it, they've sat down, they've gone, we are a team. This is what we're going to do. They have goals. They're a team. They're solidified. So many of these books that have groups of people in them still haven't really come to a cohesion to say,
Yeah.
we're a team and these are our goals. Whereas this at least has done that. We're a team, these are goals. They got Apollo on board now. They got Midnighter on board. They've got a confirmed leader, for the time being and whatnot. There's not a bunch of crazy dissent. I like Martian Manhunter too. I'm looking forward to him actually getting to use him more because it doesn't feel like he hasn't been used a whole bunch in here. I think partially the fact is a lot of us know Martian Manhunter, so I think they spend a little less time on him. And for all those people who weren't Wildstorm fans, we're getting more of Hawkmoon and Midnighter and Apollo and all those other people that were all part of the Stormwatch universe in Wildstorm.
Yeah.
To give us more of an education on who they all are and whatnot. That I'm excited about.
Yeah, Midnighter needs to get rid of his chin spike.
Yeah,
That's really annoying.
The chin spike. I don't know if it's
I
annoying.
like
It
his
just
spikes, but I don't like the chin spike.
Yeah, I don't know if that's supposed to give him kind of a dominatrix-y, kind of a S&M-ish looking thing or not. And I guess it does. It just looks strange to me.
I don't know. It doesn't look strange to me. It just looks kind of stupid. It looks silly. It doesn't look stupid. It
I
looks
don't know.
silly.
If I was in a fight and I was in close combat though, and I could drive my chin into you. No, I don't know.
I don't see that.
No.
No.
I bet you'll see it.
Okay. Well, That's cool.
We'll see if in the next 6 months if we see him nail somebody with his chin spike.
That'll be nice, I guess.
It'll be their version of the Cannonball special. You know what the Cannonball special is?
No.
It's where back in the old X-Men is where the first place it got used in. Cyclops, not Cyclops, sorry, Colossus, the big steel guy, would pick up Wolverine, like in a ball, and throw him at the bad guys. And of course, as Wolverine goes flying, he'd snick his claws out and slice through people, right?
Nice.
So this will be Apollo picking up Midnighter and hurling him at super strength, chin first. Of course, how Midnighter's going to survive seeing something at that speed? No? Come on, it'd be epic. It would be epically awesome.
No.
Probably not. At any rate,
I don't see that happening at all.
Like I said, I get a kick out of this book. I think pretty quickly it changes writers, so I don't know if how much that'll change the flavor of the book. But we'll wait and see.
Yeah. I like this book too, and it was nice that they were able to stay a team without feeling like the old Teen Titans, where they said they were a team every 5 seconds, and they were a team, but they just sucked.
Yeah. That's all water under the bridge.
Yeah.
Or bridge under the water, or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, last book we're going to talk about is Swamp Thing #6.
I love this book so much. It's so good. It's so amazing. The art is awesome. The story is great. This issue was really, really gruesome.
Yep.
It was just, like, so gruesome.
Yeah. Yeah, this issue had great art in it. It wasn't done by the regular artist who's doing the cover, but still it worked. It still had all the feel and all the right places and whatnot. This book, has parts of it that feel personal, but it has this kind of epic feel to it. Whereas, to some degree, Swamp Thing and Animal Man, you can say, are kind of dealing with the same thing because they're both fighting against the rot. In Animal Man, everything is very personal. To me, it doesn't feel epic on any level so much as it feels very personal. It's very personal because it's his daughter, his family. It's all very personal. Whereas this one is this huge buildup, and you see this thing in Death Valley going on. These towers of twisted bodies, their heads twisted around backwards, making this epic stuff, and these freaked out creatures are showing up and whatnot.
Oh, they're so freaky.
And of course, he's losing somebody that he's suddenly fallen in love with. Whether that's the old Alec coming out and him making him fall in love with and whatnot. And then in the Amazon, the whole green is screwed because they've been infected.
By the rot, yeah.
By the rot. That guy snuck in there and spewed out all of his bugs and whatnot. So, Alec is trying to, now he's desperately begging to be Swamp Thing, and it's not necessarily happening. In the end of the book, really bad stuff happens. But he's got these, he's got these twisted beasties flying after him and attacking him as he's trying to ride off and whatnot. It just feels, this book feels huge. It just feels like there's this big thing rolling forward. And right now, of all the other DC titles, none of them, not even the Justice League, which is dealing with supposedly with an epic thing with Darkseid and all that stuff coming down, does not, to me, feel epically powerful. Like this could just jack up the entire world and everything in it, like Swamp Thing does.
Yeah, I think iVampire could come close, but I don't think anything will quite hit Swamp Thing. But that's also what's cool about Animal Man is. The cool thing is how these books coincide, because they definitely coincide. There's no way that they're not. Yeah. The cool thing is this is epic and this is everything going bad. Well, you said Animal Man is personal, but it's personal because they have the last thing probably that could save the green, because they have her.
Save the red.
Well, yeah, red. But I think entitling beating the crap out of the black is. I think it's my enemy's enemy is my friend.
Oh, well, certainly. Well, I don't think that the red and the green are at odds with each other at all.
No.
I mean, they're,
they coincide with each other.
Right.
Yeah. And that's what's cool though, is that this book has all the bad stuff happening, and then Animal Man has the saving grace.
Well, I was going to say, if it sounded like I was complaining about that, it certainly wasn't.
No.
They're right, and that's a great difference between the two. It makes them really interesting. Is one is so personal; it's on a personal level, and that's what makes it interesting. The characters and the personal level of it, and then there's this one, which is just, like I said, to me feels, especially with this issue that's to see all that stuff going on. It's building up, and of course, what's her name is ultimately she's the person. She
She's
was the
queen.
thing that everybody was waiting for. You know, they thought they were all worried it was going to be the kid, and
but
he's just a knight.
To bring her
Yeah.
back.
Yeah. It's gonna just be crazy. Can't wait.
So
I mean,
awesome.
this is one of the books that I'm always excited about. Always looking forward to reading.
I'm always excited about reading Swamp Thing. It's always, oh, really, reading Swamp Thing? Oh, yay.
So this is a pretty good week of comics.
Oh yeah, I like.
If nothing else, this is a pretty good week of comics. Animal Man and Swamp Thing pretty much make it a good week of comics by themselves.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's it for this week. Hopefully in a week we'll have another week's worth of comic books to read to you. Okay, have a good one.
Bye.